surgery, I am unable to be there in person, but wanted to present my project. How better to use the technology we have been learning about in this than here and now. My name, as you can see, is Barbara Beckmeyer. I work at the Center for Academic Technologies, also known as CAT, at CSUMB. I have been involved in online education since the mid-1990s. I started my career as a graphic designer for some of the first online college courses offered in the United States. My job morphed over the years from a graphic designer working with content experts into an e-producer, more of a project manager working with content experts, artists, programmers, and student developers. The end of June 2006, I moved to Marina, California. Although my job description was very similar to my previous position, here I found myself wearing several different hats instead of just one. I fell in love with our small campus and our mission statement. I continue to be inspired by our faculty members, whom I see making a real difference in the lives of our students. It was, in fact, in our School of Business that one such instructor, Dr. Patsy Tinsley McGill, helped me find what became my capstone project, Right. The problem. Capstone students in the School of Business have the opportunity to work in a real-world setting for their capstones. The students are formed into groups that then are assigned projects where they work directly with our community partners. These local businesses and/or nonprofits often have student groups write up business plans, develop websites and marketing strategies, and varying projects that take up much of the students' time. Some of our students struggle with English writing skills and basic knowledge of English writing mechanics. The quality of writing expected for capstone business projects, as well as for their senior capstone papers, becomes of major importance. In the business world, especially with the current economic trends, any obvious writing errors can mean the difference between the possibility of getting scarce positions available or not. With such high stakes writing and such little time for both the faculty and the students to pursue remedial work, what's the answer? In the past, teachers made study aids and took classroom time to address problems they were finding in student work. Students would write and teachers would correct, and students would rewrite and teachers would correct again, and on and on. Teachers find themselves with little time to correct papers once, let alone multiple times. Students feel that time spent with their instructors can be better spent helping them refine project goals and to help ensure their successful completion of the projects in a timely manner. The answer. Find a way to free up instructor time and still make remediation available to the students. A self-grading, self-paced system of modules made up of the most frequent mistakes found in the School of Business students' writing over the last 5 years period. A system with instant feedback and available 24/7. A system we call Right. Right is a separate, standalone set of modules set within our current open source learning management system, available to the School of Business students using their Otter ID and password. By creating what can be called a meta course, any number of child courses may be added, and the content is then available to them with no additional work on the part of the instructor. The MIST program is steeped in instructional design and pedagogy. The hows and whys of teaching and learning, the ways to develop student engagement, the study of what researchers in our field have found helps students to learn, and how best to design coursework. The pedagogy is a mix of the old and the new, Gagne's 9 Steps of Instruction, from Gagne's 1987 work. The 9 steps of instruction are used sometimes in their total 9 and sometimes mix and match. They are kind of a fundamental foundation for instructional design. I've tried to address all 9 of these. And we do provide our learners guidance. We encourage performance. But I think maybe the most important step that I really tried to look at in the 9 steps was providing the feedback, really specific feedback available after taking each specific topic quiz. That and enhancing the transfer and retention of the materials that they learn. This they do with their capstone projects and with their papers. And we really want this to become second nature to them. Kolb's cycle of experiential learning was developed in the 1970s, and this model fits so perfectly with the newer brain-based model described by James Zoll in his book, The Art of Changing the Brain. Zoll's book is based on how the human brain functions biologically. With the current technology such as fMRIs and PET scans, we can view what parts of the brain become active, and we can witness how the brain physically changes. The other 2 influences on the development of this project are the highly regarded writing experts Peter Albo and John Bean. Dr. Tinsley McGill attended a workshop hosted by Teaching, Learning, and Assessment here at CSUMB with Peter Albo, and she was reintroduced to his work at that time. She cites both Albo and Bean in her research on improving sentence-level writing skills. During my MIST experience, one of my teams and I performed statistical analysis on several of the modules in writing. The final paper is available for download on my MIST capstone portfolio page. The results of our analysis, seen in slide 23 of my presentation and named Appendix F, the t-test, indicate that the tutorials and assignments are effective in aiding the improvement of sentence-level grammar, mechanics, and usage skills. Dr. Tinsley McGill and fellow School of Business professor, Dr. Murray Milson, present a large quantity of data using SPSS software, which I will not go into today, but the results of their research does agree that the right treatment increases student outcomes over the control group by 19.98% in the original groups and 17.03% in the randomly resampled groups. This project is one of an iterative nature, and we will continue to collect data and update technologies to improve student outcomes. My hope is that we can develop a model that is flexible enough to repurpose to serve our students across and within the disciplines here at CSUMB. Thank you. If you have any questions that I can answer, that would be great, and if there are any I can't get to, please feel free to email me at bbeckmeyer@csumb.edu.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? In that case, we're going to say goodbye, Barbara, and we're going to close you up.
Bye, Barbara. Get well soon.